Hello, my beautiful gratitude babes. Welcome back to the Gratitude is Yummy podcast. Episode 11 is here, and it may be on the tender side because I am sharing something I just discovered that I have harbored shame around. And that's about money. Yes, we're talking about money today. And it came straight from my own gratitude practice this morning. I've been healing my relationship with money the last few weeks. Not fixing, not forcing, but healing, gently healing it. And in this episode, I want to talk about why wanting money is seen as a bad thing, but it's not. Why it can feel unsafe to admit that publicly, and how gratitude gently reveals the layers we're ready to soften. So, I had a realization recently when I was doing a money block exercise, and it really surprised me. I uncovered some resentment toward money, like that has never come up before. And I've done these exercises over the years many, many times. But for the first time, something clicked, right? It wasn't very obvious. And it's not the money is evil kind of block either, but it was a quiet one. It was this emotional. It lived deeper in my body than my mind. It came from childhood experiences where I didn't feel money and safety could coexist. Yeah. It seems it seemed rather, when I was growing up, when money was present, emotional presence was always not there. When money was chased, connection was not there. When money was stressed about, the nervous system in the room felt tight, really, really tight. And as a child, you don't know how to separate those things, right? You're not thinking, "Oh, this is about finances. Oh, I understand, how the world works and parents need to do what they need to do to survive." Right? You don't separate that. You just feel the absence, right? You just feel the emotional distance. You feel like love is postponed or conditional. So money quietly becomes associated with loss instead of nourishment, with absence instead of support, with separation instead of safety. And no one had to explain this to you. Your body just absorbed that, just earned that. So later in life, even when you are capable of earning more, even when you are successful, even when you understand abundance intellectually, there can be a subtle resentment living underneath it all. Almost like money didn't protect me when it mattered most, so I can't rely on you. It wasn't there when it needed to, so it's not reliable. It's not safe. And that was a big moment of awareness for me, because resentment doesn't always look like anger or blatant disregard, right? Resentment sometimes just looks like distance. Resentment sometimes looks like distrust. Resentment sometimes looks like keeping money at arm's length emotionally. And healing that doesn't come from manifesting harder. It comes from restoring that safety. And here's where everything became crystal clear for me. It was this morning as I was editing a recent Come Sit in Gratitude with Me practice, which is the one I filmed this morning, and I edited it today. And in that practice, I said something that in the moment as I was saying it seemed very simple, felt very, aligned, and it still feels aligned. Like it's not something I don't believe or actually still want. But I said, the frequency I'm choosing today is more wealth. And I explained that it wasn't about necessarily, it wasn't about efforting. It wasn't about striving or proving or like this big desire for more. It was just curiosity. I shared that I already feel like I have everything. I really, truly do. That wealth now just feels like the cherry on top of my already amazing life. That it feels like play to me now. It feels like expansion. It feels like fun to create, to see what else I can create next. But when I went back to edit the video, something happened in my body when I heard that part. And it's never felt like that before. It felt uncomfortable. I was like, I can't put this out in the world. The world can't hear that I want to be wealthy. And I felt this really strong urge to cut that part out. I almost removed the entire to feel section of my practice today. I mean, I'm filming it today, but you'll probably hear this episode next week. I almost removed it. And if you're curious, it's day 2. If you want to go on the Come Sit With Me playlist, it's day 2. Right? I was uncomfortable admitting publicly that I want to be wealthy. Not because I don't believe it's possible, not because I don't feel, aligned with it, not because I think it's wrong, but because it didn't feel safe to be seen wanting, which is a very new type of fear for me. Right? There was a fear of judgment around the world knowing I want to be wealthy. I'm laughing now because I literally sat there before I posted the day 2 and I looked up for guidance and I said, am I supposed to post this? Like, are you serious? God, universe, are we really posting this? And the answer I got was resounding yes. Okay? But so I don't believe this is wrong. But that fear of being judged, that fear of being misunderstood, of being labeled, of being reduced to a story that it obviously isn't true, my nervous system noticed that before my mind did. Because it didn't feel safe. It didn't feel like something I could safely share. There's so much energetic weight around money, especially for women. When a woman loves money, she's rarely seen as expansive or visionary, right? She's often seen as, well, let's be honest, shallow, opportunistic, calculating. There are names that get thrown around like materialistic, gold digger, high maintenance, too much, right? And those labels, they don't just live like in the ether. No, they also live inside our collective female body. Like they live in our ancestry lines. They live in our trauma lines. Okay, so even when desire is clean and it's playful and it's rooted in service, there can still be that shame around being seen wanting money. Right? Because historically, women were also expected to survive through attachment, through their partners, not abundance, to be chosen, not resource, to be grateful, not desiring. So when a woman says, I want wealth, it disrupts something. It disrupts something. And I don't know if many of us are willing to admit to this, but this is definitely something that Spirit is telling me to share. So here I am. Would I share this on my own accord? Probably not, because it's disrupting something. But I also now understand that doing this is healing. Putting this out is healing. Right? It disrupts these power dynamics, the dependency narratives. It disrupts the idea that she should stay small, that we should stay small. No wonder the body hesitates. Oh my God. The hesitation, though, it's not weakness. It's just the inherited protection. Okay? For many of us, wanting money has been loaded with so much meaning and not good meaning. We're taught that wanting wealth means you're ungrateful, you're greedy, you're selfish, you're superficial, you're too much. And if you grew up feeling unseen or emotionally unsafe, visibility itself can feel dangerous. The fear of being seen is so real. So the nervous system learns it's safer to want quietly. Ooh, you know how they say build in silence. right? It's safer to want quietly. It's safer to desire privately. It's safer to downplay longing. It's safer to say, I'm fine, instead of, I want more. Not because you don't deserve more, but because being seen wanting, that feels risky as hell. And this is not a mindset issue. And that's something that I had to grapple with because I'm a mindset coach. So I'm thinking everything is mindset, everything is mindset. I've been doing so much mindset work over the years, but this is body work issue. This is embodiment because this is coming from protection, from ancestral protection. So here's the reframe that has been anchoring me the last few weeks. And it is that money itself is neutral energy. And again, this is all mindset. This is right. This is because I know this. I teach this. Money itself is a neutral energy. It amplifies what already exists. When desire comes from wholeness instead of lack, it is not dangerous. Wanting money does not mean you are abandoning love. It doesn't mean you are choosing things over people. It doesn't mean you are repeating old wounds. For me, desiring wealth now comes from safety. It comes from safety already being in my life. It comes from my life already feeling full. It comes from me already feeling regulated. It comes from me already feeling rooted. It comes from curiosity, not compensation. It comes from play, not proving. It comes from expansion, not escape. And I'm telling myself every day that kind of desire is safe. And it is, because it is. It's true. Because it's not filling a wound. It's not expressing some kind of void. It's actually expressing aliveness. Right? Now, there is one more thing I want to share before we close. And that is really just a thank you. It's a thank you. Thank you for listening. If you're still here and you're hearing this, I really, truly am so grateful that you're listening, because just the act of putting this episode out has been tremendously healing for me. And this is the body work, right? This is the action work, the movement. You know, and I don't mean after it airs and it actually, is received and falls on ears, but just the act of speaking it. Ooh, there's something powerful about letting yourself be seen in the truth that you once felt you had to protect. Recording this felt like telling my nervous system, it's safe now. It's safe to want. It's safe to be seen wanting. I can feel something softening just by letting these words exist. And if it's okay with you all, I really want to keep going deeper. I want to go deeper with you. And for the next few episodes, I want to continue exploring money. I want to continue exploring desire, safety, embodiment. And not from a place of there's something wrong and we need to fix it, but from a place of gentleness, from an honest place. And if something in you feels seen from hearing this, you are not alone, my love. We are doing this together. We're literally doing this together. I know that gratitude isn't about settling. It's about creating safety in the body so that desire can exist without fear. So I am allowed to want wealth. I am allowed to want wealth. I am allowed to want wealth. Y'all, I want wealth. I want to be wealthy. You are allowed to want wealth. You are allowed to desire ease. I am allowed to want ease. You are allowed to want a life that feels expansive and supported. You do not need to earn that permission. You already have it. And if you had forgotten, like I had, I want this episode to serve as your loving reminder of this core truth. Okay? Okay. Let's say it together. We are wealthy. In 2026, we're not letting anything hold us back from living in our fullest expressions. Good. We are wealthy. I am wealthy. You are wealthy. And you deserve to be, as I do too. Okay, my loves. As always, I'm so grateful you're here. I truly love you all so much. This channel is turning into kind of like a reparenting of myself. I hope it's healing you all too, because it's truly becoming such a healing space for me. Hence why the episodes are coming daily now. Who knew? I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you come sit with me in gratitude. And I will see you in the next episode. Ciao.